Hello everyone, I am Sarita Rawat, Assistant Professor, School of Pharmacy, Suresh Gyan Bihar University, Jaipur. Today we will study about the morphology, nutrition, cultivation and isolation of bacteria. We have already studied about the basics introduction of bacteria. Now today's objective is to determine the medical importance of bacterial culture, to study about the bacterial morphology, spatial structure and nutrition, cultivation, isolation of bacteria, and we will also study about the culture media that are used in the cultivation of bacteria. So, learning outcomes of today's lecture include we will see nutrition, cultivation, and isolation of bacteria, study of different culture media that are used to cultivate the bacteria. Then, just we will go through a small introduction about the bacteria. Bacteria are often maligned as a cause of human and animal disease like this one Leptospirosis, which cause serious disease in the livestock. So however, certain bacteria like actinomyces produce antibiotics such as streptomycin and norcadicin. Others live symbiotically in the gut of the animal, including humans, or elsewhere in their body, or non on the root of certain plants, converting nitrogen into a usable form. So we can say bacteria are harmful also, but as well as the same time they are very important to human and animal also, because they play a important role in like in our gut to digest the food, and also they are used for making antibiotics in different medicinal industry like pharmaceutical industry. They are also used for the new research purpose for new antibiotics. Now bacteria put the tank in yogurt and the sour in the sourdough bread. Bacteria have to break down dead organic matter. Bacteria make up the base of the food web in many environments. Bacteria are of such immense importance because their extreme flexibility, capability for rapid growth and reproduction and great age. The oldest fossil known, nearly 3.5 billion year old, are fossil of bacteria-like organisms. So they are very helpful. We can see it very clearly in our day-to-day life that how the milk convert into the yogurt because of the help of bacteria. Then we also see we also see in the baking industry how the bread sourdough convert into the bread. So they are very helpful in also the today bacteria are the basic play a basic role in food web in many environmental work. So bacteria are of such immense importance, and they have a variable flexibility of the growth. They grow very rapidly. They reproduce very rapidly, and we found a 3.5 billion year ago fossils of bacteria. So that's mean they are very well known for a long time in this nature. So some of bacteria size of bacteria include unit measure for measurement is micron or micrometer. So we can measure bacterial size by micron or micrometer, which varies 10 to 3 millimeter. So size of the bacteria varies with the kind of bacteria and also related to their age and external environment, like where the bacteria is growing, what is the how long the bacterial age is. So according to that, the size varies. So we can see it by human eyes, by light microscope, by electron microscope. Well, that depends upon the size of bacteria. So we have classified the bacteria according to their size. So we have given them name accordingly. Cocci is a sphere say bacteria, and they are almost 1 mm in size. As you can see, Bacilli is a road-shaped bacteria, 0.5 to 1 μm in size and width in 0. And length is 3 μm. Then we have a spiral bacteria. Spiral bacteria is almost 1 to 3 μm in length and 0.3 to 0.6 μm in width. So cocci we have to if two cocci together, that is called diplococcus, and as they are in a bunch, so we called it staphylococcus. Then we have a road-shaped bacteria. Road-shape is a single road is called we called it single road-shaped bacilli. Then if it is in a pair, so we called it diplobacillus. Then following another to another, it depend upon the chain elongations of chain. If the bacillus, if the bacilli is in a chain, so we called it streptobacillus. Then we have a spiral zip bacteria also. So it is clearly seen in this picture. You can see in this image like road, and then road shape bacteria, we single bacteria we called it bacillus in pair, and in chain you can see it, and sphere also coccus, diplococci, and then staphylococcus, then spiral shape. So this is all about the morphology of the bacteria. Now coming to the point cultivation and culturing of bacteria. A microbial culture is a method of multiplying microorganisms by letting them reproduce in predetermined culture media other under controlled laboratory conditions. So when we cultivate or culture any bacteria, we have to provide the same environment to the bacteria as they grow in a natural source. So that called the cultivation of bacteria. Microbial culture are used to determine the type of microorganism, its abundance in the sample being tested or both. So we need cultivating of bacteria because we wants to study more about the bacteria. More we wants to use it in you for our mankind. So that's why we need to cultivate the bacteria. What is the purpose of cultivating? Why we need to cultivate the bacteria? First we have to isolation of bacteria. So these are some important points that shows why we need to cultivate the bacteria. Isolation of bacteria, properties of bacteria, that is culturing bacteria in an initial step in studying its morphology and its identification. So that is very basic step that for the purpose of isolating, for the purpose of studying its morphology, what kind of the bacteria it is, what is the shape of bacteria, which bacteria is this. So for that purpose we need to cultivate it, to maintain the stock cultures, to estimate variable counts, to test the antibiotics and sensitivity test of the bacteria. That is most important in the pathophysiology lab, because whenever we know about the cause behind any particular bacterial disease, so we have to test antibiotic susceptibility test. So this is related to your medical or diagnostic purpose. So to create antigen for the laboratory use, certain genetic studies and manipulation of the cell also need that bacteria to be cultured in vitro. Cultivating on solid media is another convenient way of separating bacteria in a mixture. So these are some common purpose of cultivating bacteria. Now, what is culture media? Okay, so culture media must provide similar environment, natural conditions that exist in the natural habitat of a bacterium. So culture media is basically a medium where we cultivate a bacteria to provide them an artificial environment similar to its natural conditions so that it can grow properly. A culture media contains water, a source of carbon, and energy, source of nitrogen, trace element, some growth factor, and the most important, we have to maintain its pH accordingly. So these are some basic requirement of a bacteria to grow properly, or we have to provide that particular things to artificial culture, or as similar to its natural culture. Use of the culture media is to enrich the number of bacteria, to grow the number of bacteria, then select for certain bacteria and suppress others. So whenever we want to cultivate a singular type of bacteria, we need to suppress other. That's how we grow a particular bacteria in an abundant amount. Then differentiate among different kind of bacteria. Then, what is pure culture? Pure culture: in the laboratory, bacteria are isolated and grown in a pure culture in order to study the function of a particular species. So, we in a pure culture we grow only a kind of bacteria that is in abundant amount. Only a particular bacteria that we grow in a abundant amount. There is no mixing of another kind of bacteria. A pure culture is a population of cells or growing in the abundance of other species or type. A pure culture may originate from a single cell or single organism, in which case the cell are genetically cloned of one another. So when we make a pure culture, we just use a single organism, and then we give it a growing conditions, we make an artificial environment of cultivation. Then they grow and they replicate there, then they reproduce there, and they make its colonies, and that colony is genetically cloned to that single organism. Pure culture are obtained by using variety of spatial techniques. All glassware, media, and instrument must be sterilized. That is, aseptic techniques are used for obtaining pure culture. So, whenever we go for pure culture, we have to sterilize all the instrument that we are using to sterilize and to grow the culture. And we also use the aseptic technique so that any contamination chances can be reduced. Basic equipment requirement for obtaining a pure culture are solid media. We need a solid media, a media container that can be maintained in a aseptic condition, and a method to separate individual cell. So we also need a solid medium. We need a media container that is sustainable in the aseptic conditions. A single bacterium supplied with right nutrients will multiply on the solid media in a limited area to form a colony, which is a mass of cell and descended from the original one. So when we use a particular bacterium, single bacterium, to the pure culture, we have to provide them a nutrients, multiple solid media. We have to provide them a particular natural environment so that they can grow and make its colony like its original one. So for the solidifying, we need to know about the agar. What is agar? Agar, a polysaccharide extended form of marine algae, is used to solidify a specific nutrient solution. Unlike other gelating agent, it is not easily degraded by the many bacteria, and it is not easily destroyed at the high temperature, and therefore it can be sterilized by heating the process, which also liquefy it. Once solidified, agar medium will remain solid until heated above 95 degrees Celsius, and the culture media is contained in a petri dish, a two-part glass or plastic covered container. So agar is mostly used in the culture media because of its vast importance. Firstly, it is a polysaccharide extent that is originated from the marine algae, and it is used for a solidify specific nutrient solution. So the bacteria do not degrade it, and it form a gelatin. It is a gelatin agent, and it make a solidify medium. We also used in a semi-solid medium, and it is not easily destroyed in a higher temperature. So whenever we sterilize the bacteria, we sterilize the medium, so it will not destroy. And once the agar is solidified, it's need 95 degrees Celsius above temperature to make it dissolve. Then the agar media is contained in a petri dish, two-part glass or plastic covered container. So we can contain it in a petri dish or in a glass or plastic covered container. So this is suitable with the both kind of container. Then coming to the culture media, classification of culture media, we classified the culture media into three categories according to their how they we are using, how they functioning. So bacterial culture media can be classified at least three ways, like according to their consistency, how much consistency we are using, according to the natural component, and according to its functional use. So classification based on consistency, we have liquid media, solid media, and semi-solid media. So what is liquid media? Liquid media is there are available for use in test tubes, bottle, or flask. Liquid media are sometimes referred as broths or nutrient broth. So in liquid media, bacteria grow uniformly, producing general turbidity, and no agar is added, mostly used for in column preparation. So liquid media basically used for in column preparation, and we do not use any agar in this liquid media, and they are basically you made in the test tubes, bottles, and flasks. So they are in liquid media, bacterial grow uniformly, and they make a turbidity, general turbidity. And solid media and agar plate is a petri dish that contains a growth medium, typically agar plus nutrient, used to culture microorganisms, and 2% of agar is added. Agar is the most commonly used solidifying agent, and colony, morphology, pigmentation, hemolysis can be appreciated, and example include nutrient agar and blood agar. So in solid medium, we use a petri dish, and 2% of agar is added in this medium, and this is a solidifying agent. Agar is used as a solidifying agent, and mostly we use this for the morphology, pigmentation, and hemolysis of the bacteria. So we also add a nutrient for the we have a nutrient agar and blood agar, so we can use both the any one in the both of the kind of agar. So semi-solid, now we have a third category, that is semi-solid media. Semi-solid media, such media are fairly soft and are useful in demonstrating bacterial motility and separating motile from the non-motile stains. Example of semi-solid media is we have oxidation, fermentation, and 0.5% agar we add in the solid semi-solid media. So in solid media, we use 2% of agar, and in semi-solid media we use 0.5% of agar. And this is soft media, soft fairy media, and it's demonstrate the bacterial motility, how the bacteria is moving, and it's separating the motile from the non-motile stain. So that is the use of semi-solid media. Most of the time we use solid media for the cultivation of bacteria. So as you can see in this image, this is the particular image of solid media, liquid media and semi-solid media. So you can see easily. So in solid media we are using a petri dish in and agar and liquid media, and in semi-solid media you can see we have used a test tube. In liquid media we also use the test tube. So this is the clear image. You can see it very clearly, the differentiate between the three media. Now classification based on nutritional components. So we have a simple media, complex media, synthetic or chemically defined media. Now, what is simple media? Simple media such as peptone water, nutrient agar can support most non-fastidious bacteria, and it is also called a basal media. So, nutrient growth consists of peptone, yeast extract and NaCl. So when 2% of agar is added to a nutrient growth, it forms nutrient agar. So simple media is basically made of some nutrients, and then we use like yeast extract, peptone and 2% of agar, nutrient agar, that make nutrient agar growth. Then we have a complex media. In complex media, other than the basal media are called complex media. They have special ingredient in them for the growth of microorganisms. These special ingredient like yeast extract or sessions hydrolase, which consist of a mixture of many chemical, is known as proportin. Okay, so in complex media we morely add some special ingredient to grow the bacteria, like we add the yeast extract, and we use some chemical mixture. Then coming to the point, synthetic media or chemically defined media, we use specially prepared media for research purpose, where the composition of every component is well known, and it is prepared from pure chemical substance like peptone water. So for synthetic media or chemically defined media, we use it for the higher study or some specific study, and for this purpose we use a specially prepared media for the composition of the media. Okay, so for example we use peptone water that include 1% of peptone plus 0.5% of NaCl in water. So these are the three kind of media that is depend upon the nutritional component. Now classification is according to the functional use of and its application. So according to the functional use, we have six kind of media. First one is enriched media, then we have a selective media, we have a differential media, we have a transport media, we have a indicator media, we have a anaerobic media. Now, when we talk about the enriched media, okay, so what is enriched media? Enriched media is the addition of extra nutrient in the form of blood, serum, egg yolk, etc. to the basal medium, makes them enriched media. When we add some external amount like blood, serum, egg yolk to the media, so it make a enriched media. Media used to isolate pathogens from a mixed culture and stimulate growth of desired bacterium and inhibit the growth of unwanted bacterium, and media is incorporated with the inhibitory substance to suppress the unwanted organism, thus increase in the number of desired bacteria. So it is basically used to grow a particular kind of bacteria. So example of enriched media, chocolate agar, blood agar, and that we used, for example, we use tetrathione growth that inhibits the coliforms, alkaline peptone water for Vibrio cholerae bacteria, and salinate F growth for isolation of Salmonella and Shigella. So we can cultivate these kind of bacteria in a particular kind of enriched media. As you can see in this picture, that is salinate F growth, tetrathione growth, and alkaline peptone water growth. Now we have a chocolate agar medium. What is chocolate agar medium? Chocolate agar is a non-selective enriched growth medium that is used for growing fastidious bacteria such as Haemophilus influenza. So if we want to grow Haemophilus influenza, we have to grow it in a chocolate agar medium. It is a non-selective growth medium. Then we have a blood agar media. Blood agar media is a blood agar plate contains many mammalian blood. Mammalian blood, usually we use sheep or horse blood, typically at a concentration of 5 to 10% of blood agar are enriched differential media used to isolate fastidious organisms and detect the hemolytic activity. So we use blood agar medium for to study about the hemolytic activity. So as you can see, this is our blood agar media and this is the chocolate agar media. So the difference is very clear. Now, secondly, we have a selective media. Selective media, the inhibitory substance is added to a solid media, thus causing an increase in the number of colonies of the desired bacteria. And then selective media can enrichment media are designed to inhibit the unwanted commercial or contaminating bacteria and help to recover pathogen from a mixture of bacteria. Any agar medium can be made selective by addition of certain inhibitory agent that doesn't affect the pathogen. To make a medium selective include addition of antibiotic, dyes, chemical alteration of pH or a combination of these. So for that selective media, we just add some inhibitory substance that is not wanted to grow the particular pathogens, and we that's how we only able to grow a particular bacteria that we wants to cultivate. Example of selective media, we have a Thayer Martin medium selective for Neisseria gondii. So EMB agar is selective for gram-negative bacteria, and the dye methylene blue is the medium inhibits the growth of gram-positive bacteria. So a small amount of this dye effectively inhibit the growth of most gram-positive bacteria. So for example, if we want to grow a particular kind of gram-negative bacteria, we can add some we can add some methylene blue that inhibit the growth of gram-positive bacteria. So that's how we are able to cultivate a particular kind of pure bacteria. Then we have Campylobacter agar is used for the selective isolation of Campylobacter jejuni. So this is your EBM plate and this is the Campylobacter agar. So you can see the difference. Now, what is differential media? Certain media are designed in such a way that different bacteria can be recognized on the base of their colony colors. So various approaches include incorporation of dyes, metallic substance, etc., so that those bacteria that utilize them appear as differently colored colonies, and the substance incorporated in it is distinguished between bacteria. So for differential media, we use some kind of dye, so the bacteria retain that dye and we are able to differentiate between the bacteria that how many they showed in our colonies, colored colonies, and we are easily able to differentiate between the colonies and the kind of bacteria. For example, we have McConkey's agar that and CLED agar and XLD agar, etc. So Xylase lysis dextrochloride agar is a XLD agar. It is used as a selective and differential medium for the recovery of Salmonella and Cinderella species. So if we want to see the Salmonella and Cinderella species, we can use the XLD selective media. Then we have a cysteine lactose electrolyte differentiate agar that we call CLET agar is a non-selective agar solid media for cultivation of pathogen from urine specimen. So whenever we wants to demonstrate the urine specimen, urine bacteria, we can add it. And lack of salt electrolyte inhibits swimming of the Prostecia sepsis. So we can use this CLD media. Then we have a McConkey agar culture medium that is designed to grow gram-negative bacteria and differentiate them from the lactose fermentation. It contains bile salt to inhibit more gram-positive bacteria. Crystal violet dye, which also inhibits certain gram-positive bacteria. Lactose ferments pink colonies and non-lactose ferments colorless colonies. So that's how we are able easily to differentiate between these colonies. So we can add some kind of dye also that can inhibit a particular kind of bacteria, then which we do not need it, and then we found another kind of bacteria very clearly. So this is very easily understandable. As you can see, this is the McConkey agar and this is the CLET agar. So the color difference you can see very easily. According to the color, we are simply able to differentiate between these kind of colonies and bacteria. So this is the growth of pathogenic E. coli on the CLD agar. Now coming to the transport media. What is transport media? Clinical specimen must be transported to the laboratory immediately after collections to prevent overgrowth of contaminating organs or commercials. Declined organisms may not survive the time taken for the transporting the specimen without a transport media. This can be achieved by using transport media. So transport media should be fulfill of this criteria. Transport media basically used for the transportation of the media to the laboratory. To prevent the organisms or to prevent the overgrowth or contamination of the bacteria before examining them. So transport media should fulfill the basic criteria like temporary storage of specimen being transferred to the laboratory for the cultivation so that the overgrowth do not happen and contamination do not occur. Maintain the variability of all organs in the specimen without altering their connections, concentrations, and contain only buffer and salts. Lack of carbon, nitrogen, and organic growth factors so that it prevents the microbial multiplication. So if we use the growth media, so they can easily grow and the overgrowth of the bacteria may cause another problem. So in the isolation, so we can use this transport media so that it can be easily transported to the laboratory. Then transport media used in the isolation of anaerobes must be free of the molecular oxygen. Example of some transport media we have is Krabler medium or Campylobacter species, alkaline peptone water medium or Vibrio cholerae, and Stun's medium that is non-nutrient soft agar gel containing a reducing agent, and a charcoal used for a gonococci, and a buffer glycerol slime for enteric bacilli. So we use these kind of media so that the bacteria that we are going to transfer into the another place, that may be not overgrowth and that may be not saturated with the another media. So as you can see in this picture, this is your transport medium. So this is basically used in the laboratory day-to-day diagnosis, in the medical field, in the hospitals. Now we have a indicator media. So what is indicator media? Indicator media contain an indicator which changes its color when a bacterium grow in them. So whenever we add a indicator media, we know about the bacteria, the changes in the bacteria when they grow. like Wilster Blair medium, that is as typhi forms black colonies. So in Wilster Blair medium, when the as typhi grows, so it convert into the black colonies. Then we have a macloids medium, potassium terulate, that is used for the diphtheria bacilli. Then we have urease media. Urease media contain urea, CO2 plus NH3. So NH3 is the medium turns into the pink. So it is a media indicators. As you can see, this is the Western Blair medium. So you can see the color that is converted. And then we have a macloids medium. Macloids medium is also converting. This is the urease medium. So you can see the difference between two color. The first one is yellow and the second one is pink. So by using these things, we can easily see the differentiate and the growth of bacteria into one to another. So this is about the indicator media. Like here is the Western Blair medium, so it converting into the black colonies. You can see here the black colonies. These are the black colonies that indicates the growth of the bacteria, and this is the macloid medium. Now, lastly, we have the anaerobic bacteria. So, anaerobic, what are the anaerobic bacteria? Anaerobic bacteria needed special media for growth because they need low oxygen content and reduce oxygen reduction potential and extra nutrient. So, for the growth of anaerobic bacteria, we need a low oxygen content and extra nutrients. So media for anaerobic may have to be supplemented with nutrients like heme and vitamin K. So whenever we are making any anaerobic bacteria, we have to add additional nutrients like the heme, and we have to add the additional nutrient like vitamin K. Then boiling the media serves to expel any dissolved oxygen. So when we use anaerobic media, we can boil the media, boil the substance, because it can helps to decrease the oxygen content into that medium. For example, we have a thioglycate medium. So thioglycate medium is used for the anaerobic bacteria. So as you can see, this is the picture of your anaerobic bacteria, thioglycate medium. This is the thioglycate medium. Okay, so this is all about your culture media, isolation, and different type of cultures, and what is the importance of culture, how we can identify the different cultures, how we can grow the bacteria, different kind of bacteria, what is the need to grow the different kind of bacteria. So you can study this slides and you can easily differentiate between these bacteria, they differentiate between these culture media, and you can accordingly make the culture media according to the bacteria. And this is very useful in the pharmaceutical industry, so that you can go to the research, to go to the cultivation of different kind of bacteria for the further use. So I have concluded some quiz for you. These are the quiz questions that are related to your bacteria's cultivation morphology basics. So these questions are like the phase of bacteria growth during which bacteria show exponential growth curve is called. What is it called? The rate of generation of new bacteria cell become equal to the death rate during which phase. Then Bacillus is a genus of bacteria that also referred which what cell shape. And then we have under a microscopic, which organ would appear as a chain or a rolled shaped cell. And then we have a cluster of a polar flagella is called, and which of the following bacteria like a cell wall and a rear are there for resistance to penicillin. Then these are some references that I have included, that I have taken these previous slides, and you can go through these books, and you can increase your knowledge with this. So the first book I have referred is Hobo and Russell, Pharmaceutical Microbiology, and this is a Blackwell's scientific publication from Oxford. So you can definitely go check out this book. And then we have a Prescott, LM Harley, GP, and Calling, DA Microbiology, third edition. So this is by the VC Brown publisher. This is also from the Oxford. So this is very good book for to study about the morphology and the study of the bacteria. Then we have a pharmaceutical microbiology by Dr. N.K. Jain. So this book is very famous for the student of B pharmacy. So you can definitely check this book, and this book you have a very detailed knowledge about the bacterial and its morphology, its classification. So this is um, all about the today's lecture. So you can see all these slides very carefully, and you are able to answer all the questions. Okay, so this is all about the morphology, nutrition, cultivation, and isolation of bacteria. Thank you for today.